In a previous video, I showed why place bettors often are losers. I looked at two forms of betting. One where a player was inside, he collected 2 hits, and then he pulled his bets down, he locked in a profit, versus a player who took 6 hits, or he continued to just do a same bet. It took him 6 hits to have a larger profit than the player who did 2 hits and then pulled his initial bet down. It was pretty interesting. Casino craps, it might look complicated, but at its core, it's a simple game. Roll the dice, bet on the correct number, and win. Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I am a craps fanatic. My job, to teach you the game, to teach you the math and some strategies, and with a little luck, you can color up. So today, I want to take a look at pressing our bets. There's different ways to press our bets, and are those different ways better than maybe same betting or doing 2 hits and down? We're going to look at all of that today. I'm going to look at 3 different pressing methods today. The first one is going to be a full press and then collect, and then just alternate it. So what we're looking at, I'm at a $10 table, so 44 inside on the 5 and 9. $10, if it wins, it pays 14. A full press would use whatever we can, so we're going to use 10, and now we have a $20 bet. This $20 bet would win 28. This time we would just collect. The next time, $20 wins again, 28. A full press would use all the winnings, so 25, 30, 30, 40, it would be a $45 bet, and we'd collect again a couple pennies. 45 would win 63, we would collect. Next time we would press 45 would go to 105. The 6 and 8, $12 is going to pay 14. Very first thing we do is press, so that would go to 24. At 24, it hits. We win 28. We just collect that. The next time, if it hits again, we win 28. We would then go straight up to 48. So it's essentially just, again, alternating pressing and collecting. That's probably the most aggressive form of pressing, although you can do what's called a power press, which is whenever you win, you actually throw in additional money to make your bet even bigger. But we're not going to cover that today. So that's full press and collect, and then we alternate. Next, let's go ahead and look at the half press. So we have $10. That's going to pay 14. Half of this is $15. So we'll go ahead and press it up to 15 and collect the rest. 15 is going to pay 21. Half of 15, 7. Let's just make it easy. We'll make it to $20. Half press. If we win again, so the nice thing about this is we're collecting some and we're pressing some every time. So 20 is going to pay 28. Half of 20 is 10. So we're going to press this up to a $30 bet, and we collect 18. $30 bet pays 42. Half of 30 is 15. So our next bet, we would take it to 45. So we'd bump this up to 45, and we'd rack 27. The 6 and 8 seems to be a little easier. 12 pays 14. Half of that is 6. So we're just going to bump it up to $18. 18 pays 24. Half of 18 is 9. You could go, I guess, to 12. We'll just make it easy. We'll just bump it up by 6. So we go to 24. 24 pays 28. Half of 24 is 12. So we take our 24 bet, add 12. So we're going to go to 36. So we would have 36, and so on. And I can continue on. But again, you're collecting some and you're pressing some every time. And the final option for pressing I'm going to show you today is the up and pull, or the single unit press. So single unit, you know, everything's divisible by either 5 or 6. So every time we hit, we're going to bump it up 5 or $6 on the 6 and 8. So, you know, we have 10 on the 5 or 9. Let's look at the 9. We've been using the 5, pays the same. So $10, oops, pays 14. We're just going to bump it up by $5. So we collect 8. 15 pays 21. We just bump it up by a unit. We go to 20, and this time we collect 16. 20 pays 28. We're going to bump it up by a $5 unit, so it's going to go to $20. So I need some red here. And so on. Same with the 6 and 8. So we're just going to do single unit presses. So 12 Oh, I got some red in here. 12 pays 14. We're just going to bump it up by $6 and go to 18, collecting 8. 18 is going to pay 21. We're going to bump it up a unit and go to 24. We collect 15. 24 pays 28. I can pay in some red here. Bump it up by a unit. Essentially goes to 30. Collecting 22, and so on. Now, I am going to roll this out, and I'm going to roll out 10 shooters. So we're going to have plenty of data. Now, I'm not going to roll this out on camera and then, you know, do all the different pressings with 3 different players. That would just be a lot. But I am going to go ahead and record a live roll, and then I'll have a spreadsheet that I can upload the files. I'm going to lean heavily on a simulator today. I like dicer.io. And so we can look at the real rolls that I'm going to do here in a moment. And then I'm going to run multiple simulations so we can see which kind turns out better. Same bet, 2 hits and down, press 1 unit, full press and collect, press a half unit. And with multiple simulation runs, maybe we can get an idea of what is actually the best way to approach this. It should be very interesting, so stick around. I'm going to go ahead and I got to track all these rolls, but I'm going to get started and roll for 10 shooters. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open up dicer.io, import my rolls that I just got finished rolling. And first, let's go ahead and compare a same bet versus the 2 hits and down, which I discussed in a previous video. Okay, if you were just to do 2 hits and pull your bets down and wait for a new shooter, you would have actually had a profit of $34. And if you did a same bet, you would have been down a little bit at $366. Now again, this is with my live rolls. Let's go ahead and compare today's press strategies. So we'll do the full press and collect. We will add half press, and then we will add up 1 unit. Let's go ahead and I'm going to repeat that using today's uploaded rolls. We'll take a look at what that looks like. We already know the results of same bet and 2 hits and down. And you can see all of our press strategies actually track pretty closely. But we finished, they all actually lost money, so it wasn't a great set of rolls. You could see the half press actually had the lead at one time, and the most aggressive strategy ended up in last place at only 316, so it lost a little bit. Now that is with today's specific rolls. Now let's go ahead and use Dicer's random number generator, and it lasts for 10 shooters, and let's just see what happens. Again, it looks like all the pressing strategies somewhat run together. Okay, and they all had a pretty big win there. As you can see, we start with 400, 2 hits and down, finished in last place. So, and everyone else finished up, you know, near the top. And it looks like actually the single unit press was in first place. But what's interesting is they track pretty much the same. Again, I'm going to use this simulator to do this multiple times. Again, they're tracking very close. Okay, that time looks like everything lost money. Same bet, 2 hits and down actually finished in first, followed by same bet. Our most aggressive strategy finished down at $200. But what's interesting is it kind of, you know, they're finishing up within a few dollars of each other. Not a whole lot of difference whether you do a unit press, a half press, or a full press and collect. And we're spreading out a little bit more there. Oh, we have a big roll there, which helped everyone jump up. Everyone finished it with a profit. 2 hits and down was last place, most conservative. And it looks like the 1 unit press ended up in first place, followed by half press, then same bet, And then the press and collect finished, you know, in last place as far as the pressing goes. So again, it's just going to depend on when, you know, that 7 comes, and if he's pressed up numbers and hasn't collected. But it is interesting that they, you know, they all finished. I guess there's a little bit of a spread here of, you know, $50, $60. But I would say relatively close. Again, look how close they are together. Press and collect is up top. It's hitting some high points. If you would have walked out, you know, after the 3rd shooter, you would have been up pretty good. Everyone actually, after 10 shooters, ended up losing money. Same bet was in first place. They're all kind of bunched together after that. Again, it's just fascinating how they result. And this is just 10 shooters, random number generated. They all stuck together. 2 hits and down was the only profitable play, followed by same bet, and then our pressing strategies both down. Well, all 3 of them are down, with press and collect, you know, the most aggressive, lost, you know, over $200. So what's my takeaway from this? It almost doesn't matter the type of press move you move. Again, the high point here at the, you know, after 5 shooters or during the 4th shooter, if you're doing the press and collect, you could have walked away doubling your money at $800. Once we got to 10 shooters, it kind of came back down, bunched up with the rest of them. They all ended up with, you know, over $100 or so profit, but very little difference between them. And then they all, for this roll, beat out 2 hits and down. The same bet right there. But yeah, very interesting that no matter kind of which pressing strategy you use, not a whole lot of difference. Let's do it one more time. Okay, looks like they're going to be losers. Oh, nope, we got a good last shooter. Okay, they all actually finished up with a profit except for the half press. And in that case, they almost all of them bunched right up, you know, between 400 and looks like 450, so all within kind of like a $50 range. But yeah, very interesting. I thought there would be a bigger difference in the press modes, but we've run those multiple times, random numbers, 10 shooters, and it doesn't make a whole lot of difference how you press. And then if it's a bad roll, 2 hits and down or same bet kind of turned out better.